and welcome to the Sweet Makings podcast. My name is Manon, and here I share all about knitting, crochet, sewing, and whatever I might like to share at the moment. So if any of that sounds like your cup of tea, please join, get cozy, maybe have a hot drink or something. I have my tea just prepared, and actually I've already drunk like half of it, trying to untangle everything that I have here. So yeah, and let's get going. So if you are new here, welcome. And today I have a few whips to show you. I don't really have any new, yes, I do have some cast-ons. I'm lying here, so I have some cast-ons, I have some whips, and I also have some projects, but I don't have any FO. Maybe if you follow me on Instagram, you might have known that I didn't post here for a while because my daughter Lucy, who is 7 months old, went through kind of a rough time. She was teething, and so we had 3 weeks of not sleeping much. We are very lucky because our daughter made her whole night. She slept through the night at like 3 months or so. So a month ago she began to wake up like 4 to 5 times a night, and I know that for some parents that's normal at this age, and I really admire you. But for us, we weren't used to it at all. So it was very difficult for us. She was not easy to soothe, and she was in pain all day long. And as a first-time mom, it was very, very hard to see her like that. And her dad was very strong. I think stronger than me. And so we had the rough patch, but now that's over, and I'm very happy, and I have energy again to record. So I'm very happy about that. And we went to the Alps for some holidays, some vacations with our family. It was really nice. The snow was so beautiful. I have some images. I will try to share them with you. And I thought I would be knitting a lot, but I haven't because Lucy had some trouble with her teeth, so I didn't. But I quite enjoyed the snow, and also we had a Scandinavian bath. I don't know if you call it that way in Scandinavian countries, but in France we call it that way. It's like a very hot bath, and it was outside, and so I could enjoy the snow while being in the bath, and it was so nice, so great. So yeah, I had a great time. Not a lot of sleep, but that's life, and it will get better. And when I prepared for this video, I finally thought that I had quite some progress done on my projects. I thought that I would not have knit a lot, but as it has been a month since I have recorded, I have a lot to show you. So let's begin. Okay, so my first whip that I want to show you is the Pressed Flowers Cowl. So I made quite some progress on it. So I'm knitting it with some Pima cotton from the Athenian Maker. I have 2 colorways. So that's like forest green, which is like cakey green. And here we have more yellow, orangey, autumnal colors. So I really like this cotton. It's very light and nice on the fingers to work with. And so to work on this, I did a provisional cast on here so that I can join at the end of the cowl with the Kitchener stitch. I wanted it to be as smooth as possible. So yeah, I worked on this while I was in the Alps. I carried this project around with me, and I'm having so much fun knitting this. If you are looking for a fun knitting project, I strongly recommend mosaic knitting. I was quite I was quite afraid to start this thing because I thought that maybe I would not manage to do some color work this way. But as my first time color work project, I don't count the little ram that I did for my daughter. But as my first knitting project in color work, I think that's a really nice way to introduce you to that. And yeah, it was really simple to knit because you only knit with one strand at a time, so you don't have to manage two strands of color at the same time when you knit. So that's really, really nice. I really like it. So yeah, what I plan to do at the end of this is, first I wanted to do maybe 20 flowers, 20 repeats of flowers before sewing this together and put the cowl like that on me. But when I was knitting it, while I did that, I saw that I can actually fit my head into the cowl as is like that right now. So what I want to do finally is maybe do 2 more repeats, so 2 more flowers like this, and then cast off and just sew it inside out like that. I don't know if you will see, sew it inside out like that, and use it as a cowl that would be very, very close to my skin and body. But I think that's the way I would like it to be, because I like to have warm coats that go very high on my neck. So what I want to do is have a cowl that would be very close to the body, so that I will be able to still close my coats because I'm always cold. So yeah, I wanted to do something like this. And I think Pima will be not too warm, but just enough to stop the wind from going through my neck. And so I would think this will be perfect. And yeah, so I'm happy because I went from a half done project to an almost done project. And as much as I would like to be a process knitter, I still am a product knitter for the moment, I think. But I'm going through the process of becoming a process knitter, because the more I knit and the more I'm having fun actually knitting. And so yeah, that's also why I have more whips now than I did before Christmas, because gift knitting was the first time I had so many whips on my needles, and I found myself quite liking that. So yeah, I am continuing on my way to having more whips at a time and not being a monogamous knitter anymore. And I think that's great also for you, because as I film and share now what I do, I think that that's great that you can have some more projects to have some news about. So yeah, so that was my first whip. Second whip I have is my Lazy Cat cardigan. So now that's quite a big piece. So that's where I'm at right now. So I did the back, I did the 2 front panels, and I almost finished the first sleeve. So I just have to switch needles for the cuff, and then it will be finished, the first sleeve. So yeah, I'm very happy about that, but I didn't make much progress on that. I was hoping that the first sleeve would be finished when I record, but I didn't carry this project with me in the Alps because, as you can see, if you didn't follow me at the beginning of the podcast, I have a huge cone to carry with me, so it was too much. We already have Lucy and Jenna, our dog, to carry with us during the vacations, so we just couldn't make some big space for my knitting projects. So yeah, I went with the cowl, and I also went with my hubby sweater I will talk about later. But yeah, the Lazy Cat cardigan, I really love this project. That's a brioche stitch project, and so it flies off the needle because it's also knit on 6mm needles, so quick project. And I think this cardigan will be so warm. I wanted to finish it before going to the Alps, but obviously with all the things happening with Lucy, I didn't have any time to do so, and I just didn't want to pressure myself into knitting a lot as much as I could, because knitting is, as I said, now more about the process for me. So I will have some occasions to wear this cardigan here because it's really cold right now. I'm happy because that's the first time in a lot of years that we have like a true winter here. Although we had quite the warm days a few days ago, but now it's going back to being frosting below zero mornings, and I really love that. It was like that when I was a little girl, and I really missed that. So yeah, this winter we are back to frosty mornings, and I love that. So yes, so I hope to finish this before the end of the winter, but as I made a lot of progress on it, I hope that it will be the case. I still have the button band and the collar to do, so yeah, still quite some work on it. But if I remember correctly, the button band and the collar are done in a ribbing, and this is just a few rows because as it's on 6mm needles, it will be very fast to knit. So yeah, hopefully I will manage to finish that in time. So yeah, to wear it this winter and not next winter, because I really want to wear it this winter. So yes. Okay, so that was my second whip. Now on to a new project. So I said in my Make 9 that I wanted to knit some socks this year, and so I bought some yarn from Laine Paysanne, and that's Laine de Pays, so it's a very, very rustic yarn. I will try to show, I'm not sure. Yes, you can see. So that's a very rustic yarn, very rustic feel. It's actually exactly the same yarn as the one that I have to knit my Lazy Cat cardigan, but this one is a 2-ply yarn, so that's easier to make socks because that's a fingering weight. I wanted to go on with a fingering weight for my first pair of socks because I was afraid that the decay would be too warm for me, and so what I wanted to do is have some socks to sleep. So that might be weird, but I tend to be very cold at night, and my husband is never cold. He is always too warm, and so we have to manage something to be able to sleep in the same room, because if I hit the weight that I want to sleep, even with some very big blankets, I have to eat a lot. So if I do this, then my husband would just bake in the in the bed. So yeah, we took the habit of me getting warm and toasty with so many things on me to sleep, so many layers, and I'm comfortable this way. And this way he can just sleep with some sheets while I sleep with my huge blankets on the bed. So yeah, and in order to be warm and toasty, I sleep with socks. So I wanted a nice pair of socks to sleep. So this way, that's better for me because I don't pressurize myself into making the perfect pair of socks from the first time on. So yeah, so what I decided to do is knit the Tuku honey socks from Andrea Mowry. So that's quite the dark yarn. So I will put a photo here so that you can see maybe more clearly what I'm talking about. But yeah, the Tuku honey socks is quite a simple pattern, I think. I don't want to give anything up about the pattern because she does a great job at writing them. So I strongly recommend if you like the design that you purchase the pattern. It's a really, really nice pair of socks to knit. So basically it's all pearl, and you have some details like mini cable details on the sock, and yeah, that's it. So very simple pattern, but very elegant. I think that this is a Turkish cast on to begin with. So I've never done any Turkish cast on in my life before, and I followed the tutorial that Andrea Mowry posted on YouTube, and she has a way of explaining things that I think is very, very easy to understand, and I really like that. So whenever I have something I would like to do, I first check if Andrea Mowry did a tutorial on that. So yeah, I just went with the flow and followed her tips, and yeah, it went great. I'm very happy with how knit the cast on is. So yeah, then you do some increases for the toes, and that's I didn't tell you, but that's a bottom up a pair of socks to knit. And so I really like that you can actually try on the sock while you're knitting it, so that's great. And yeah, so for this pattern, Andrea recommends that you go with the magic loop method, but I tried it, and I must say that I have to train, I think, because I found myself having some tension troubles. So I tried, I don't know if you will be able to see, but I tried it at the beginning of the sock, and yeah, I have some problems with the stitches. They were very, very loose at the end of the magic loop section, at the end of each needle, and so I was afraid that even while blocking it would not be better. So what I decided to do instead was to go with DPNs. I used them to knit my promise keeper for my husband. If I find a photo, I will put it here. But yeah, I used it for to knit the promise keeper, and I found that on small circumference I really prefer DPNs to the magic loop method. So I went with DPNs instead, and I still have this kind of loose stitch. I'm very sorry, I think you can't see a lot, but I have kind of a loose stitch, but that's very, very you can't really see it because the yarn is like very dark, and also I really think that it's not that noticeable. Yeah, I think I don't have a lot of scales forming, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with DPNs. So don't be afraid. I recommend that you try those on. I think that you just have to be used to switching needles, because when you switch, you have to be careful that your stitch, the first stitch, is tight enough so that you don't have any scale forming. But yeah, I'm feeling quite at ease with this type of knitting. So yeah, it's going slowly, but it's going well, and I really enjoy the process. I love having a very small project to knit on, and I am also trying to read as I knit with this project, because it's small, it's easy to work on, and I am so happy to be able to read and not watching series all the time when I knit. So yeah, I'm very happy about this project, and I will keep you posted on how it goes. Yeah, it's a slow project, clearly, but I like it. So that's my third whip, and another one I have is the hubby sweater. I talked about it earlier. So I also took this project to the Alps, and I managed to finish the second sleeve. So that's the first sleeve, and that's the second sleeve here. So if you are new here and you haven't followed my adventures with this sweater, I call this the hubby sweater, but there's no pattern for it. It's a sweater that I am knitting for my husband, and I am duplicating a sweater that he already has, that he loves, but that is made only of acrylic. It's 100% acrylic sweater, and he doesn't like the feel of the sweater. He likes the shape, he likes the warmth, but he really doesn't like the feel of the yarn that is used. It was a store-bought sweater, so he asked me if I could duplicate it and make one in 100% cotton. So I purchased some cotton, and yeah, I decided to make him the sweater. So that's a labor of love, because I have to be careful that every proportion of the sweater is respected, so that the fit can be as close to the original one. But that's a really nice exercise to do, and I'm really happy to do this. And yeah, so it's working slowly but steadily. And I did cast on while I was in the Alps. I casted on the ribbing for the body of the sweater. So I'm using this cotton yarn. It's 100% cotton. It's from Katia Concepts, and it's a fingering weight yarn that's really smooth on the fingers. So I really like to work with it. It doesn't hurt my fingers at all. And so while I was in vacations, I only casted on like just the first stitches and didn't have any time to work on the ribbing. And lately Lucy has agreed again to be carried while we are going for a walk. She used to want the stroller, I think you call it that way, to when we went out. She didn't want to be carried on my front, because she wanted to see the world and explore and everything. And yeah, so she didn't want to be pressed against me because she couldn't see anything. But now she's able to sit, and so I was able to carry her on my back instead of my front. And she really likes that because she sees way better around her. So yeah, now she agrees again to be carried during my walks. So I'm able to knit while I'm having a walk with my daughter and my dog. So I work on this ribbing while I'm outside. So every day I do a few rows, and I have 18 rows to do for the ribbing, and then I will switch to the brioche stitch. And hopefully this will help me to go a bit faster to be able to get this very beautiful brioche stitch going together. And I really like that because the fabric is very stretchy, and it really mimics the sweater that my husband already has. So he tried the sleeves on, and he was like just going with 2 sleeves. It was really funny. But yeah, he really likes the fit, and he's very happy so far with the results. So I'm very happy too. And yeah, I hope that I will be also able to finish this sweater so that he can maybe wear it in March or something. But I don't want to put any pressure on myself, so we'll see. And if it's not finished for the spring, it will be finished for next fall, so it will be okay. So that's all for my whips, and now I want to switch on to the projects. I have one project. I talked to you about a sweater that I have. That is a sweater that was store-bought, and it's a sweater with a very big pot of popcorn on it, and I really love this sweater, and I wanted to duplicate it to do another one, but a knitted one, and also one without a hood, because the sweater I have has a hood and I don't find it very practical on an everyday basis. So I wanted to duplicate it, and I bought some yarn. It was like maybe 2 years ago. I was a beginner knitter, and so I bought this yarn because I wanted to duplicate the sweater. I thought that the color was really nice. It's a yarn from a French brand called La Droguerie, and this yarn is a Kaleido yarn in the colorway Tourterelle. So Tourterelle is a bird. It's a little bird that's this color actually. So yes, and I really thought that this would be a good yarn, but I was a beginner at the time, and so I didn't realize that contrary to what I thought, this is not a DK weight at all. This is more like a sport weight yarn. So when I began to swatch, I realized that the fabric was so not only my gauge was completely off. I wanted to knit the Cinema sweater by Kutovakika, and that's a sweater that's knitted on 5mm needles, and so clearly this is knitted on 4mm needles, and as you can see, I couldn't go to 5mm needles. That would be way too big for this fabric. And also the fabric is very, very drapey. I don't know if you can see how drapey it is, but like it's really, really drapey. So it really wouldn't be good to knit a sweater in this. That's not the results that I want. I mean, I was going for a very warm and chunky sweater, and clearly this is a very drapey light sweater. This yarn, I didn't say, but it's a blend of cotton and bamboo fiber. So that's not bamboo viscose, but bamboo fiber yarn. And it's really, really nice. It's so soft, so soft to the touch. But yeah, I had to find another project to knit this yarn with. So what I decided to do instead is to do the weekender sweater, if I remember correctly. I think that's the weekender sweater in the light version by Andrea Mowry. I will put a photo here. And that's a sweater that I find very elegant. I like how the color is like a boat neck color, and I really, really love this kind of color on me. I think it suits me quite well. So I was happy to find this project to work on. So I decided to go for this instead. So the needles recommended in the pattern are 3.75, and here I have I did a swatch on 4mm needles, and the gauge is 24 stitches by 38 rows. And here before blocking I was at 24 stitches, maybe 25. No, that was 24 stitches, but after blocking I'm more like at 26 stitches. So I don't have 3.75mm needles, so what I'm going to do is try and swatch with 3.5mm needles, see if I meet the gauge, and if I don't, then I will buy some 3.75mm needles. But I think I may be able to meet gauge with 3.5mm needles. So yeah, that's what I did. And also I used a technique that she talked about in one of her last podcasts, which is I'm not sure I will have enough yarn to complete the sweater. So if I don't, I will just buy some more. But as it's 2 years old purchase, I'm not sure that the color will be exactly the same. So we'll see when I will get to that. But just to be sure that I spared the most yarn that I could, I used a method where instead of knitting a very big gauge in the round, which would use a lot of yarn, what I did was I did my swatch like 12 centimeters or something. That would be like 5 inches or something like this. So I did it like 5 inches wide. And what I did was when I wanted to knit it like I was knitting in the round, so what I did was I just went and let some space. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble explaining this, but you just leave a big strand when you finish your row, and then you use this strand again at the beginning of the other one, and this way it's like you knit in the round because you only do some knit stitches and not any purl stitches. So it helps you to have a gauge that's closer to what you will have in reality. So yeah, so that's the method I used, and it works really, really well. I strongly recommend. But also you have to do a swatch that's a bit bigger, because as you can see, the stitches are very loose. The first ones are very loose at the beginning of your swatch. So you just have to knit a slightly bigger swatch. But this way you can really spare a lot of yarn. So if you're like me, playing yarn chicken from the beginning on, you can try this method. it's very nice and it works very, very well. So yeah, that's I think that's everything I wanted to talk to you about in this podcast. So yeah, one last thing, I may talk to you about it in the next podcasts, but also my mom asked me to knit something for her. If you haven't followed my Christmas gift podcasts, I knitted a scarf for my mom and some mittens for my sister for Christmas. And my mom absolutely loves her scarf, so I'm very happy about it because she's not handmade kind of person. And so I was afraid that she wouldn't like the scarf. I knitted the party line scarf from Casey Apple, Young Folk Knits, that's the name of her channel. And yeah, I knitted this scarf and I was afraid that she wouldn't like it because maybe it would look too handmade for her, but she really loved it. She loved the finished object, and she, like me, liked how elegant this scarf was. So I was very happy about it. And in fact, she liked it so much that she asked me to knit some mittens and also a hat for her. So I'm very, very happy. And I may knit this for her for next Christmas so that she can have them. But what she wanted was a pair of mitten and scarf that she could, and a hat, sorry, that she could take with her on her business meetings. So she works for luxury brands. She works in the spirits. So she does some wooden boxes for spirit bottles. And yeah, so she had to have some elegant outfit to be able to meet her clients, and she asked me if I could knit something that would be quite elegant so that she can go and meet her clients with it. So I was very, very happy and honored that she wanted me to knit something to go on and meet her clientele, because to me that's a challenge, but also it means that she really liked what I knitted. So yeah, I was very happy about that. And so I began to look for some patterns for her. So I will put some images here of what I saw. But what she wants is blue mittens and blue hats, but with like a kind of a camailleux of colors. I don't know if you say that in English, I will check it. But camailleux in French is when you have the same color but different shades of it in a garment. So I would like to. I'm hesitating between going for a very simple and elegant pattern, but with a variegated yarn in all different shades of blue, or maybe go for a colorwork pattern, but using different shades of blue. And also I thought maybe some beige to be able to make it very nice. And yeah, I'm not sure that just going with some different blues will be elegant enough for what I am seeing. So I don't know. Tell me if you have any patterns that maybe she would like. If you have something to recommend, or some mittens that you knit and hats that you really love, that you thought was very nice, I really would like your recommendations on this. And yeah, I found some drops patterns that are really nice. So I'm looking for some inspiration. So if you have any inspiration on this, if you have any ideas, I would be really happy to have your recommendations in the comments. So please feel free to recommend anything that you liked to knit, and I will see if I find something that I like. And yeah, that's all for today. So I really thank you if you went all the way through the video to here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next podcast. And until then, take care and have a really nice day and a really nice week. Bye bye.